CBDC is going to be the future currency of the world. And it is necessary that every central bank, every country works on CBDCs.
This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for, a couple decades. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for, a couple decades.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So like I told you, I definitely see a big pullback in the first quarter. Then the master magician set up a distraction so the Fed can cut rates, and then we move up. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks pulling back on the Ides of March. You notice how they just slipped it in, guys? No conversation. Not telling you what it was for. Just slip it on in. And that was like the second or third time doing that this week. The subliminal messages are wonderful. Now, we had Bitcoin at 73,000, dropped down to 66, $600 million liquidated across crypto, and after moving down to 66,000, moved back up to 68,000 where we're at right now. But guys, don't forget on the weekend, we're the only game in town. But next week, guys, is going to be a wild ride, and for the rest of the year. We have Fed Jerome Powell in the house next week. And then we have JP Morgan says gold investors aren't switching into Bitcoin, and there's nothing wrong with being diverse. It's okay to own both. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which, of course, are climbing up because reality is setting in. And like I told you, rates are going to do a slow grind up, while stocks do a slow grind down because this is an election year. And then, of course, guys, we have the dollar up, we have volume in crypto up, we have Tether and USDC, and then we have the Fed. Repo at $483 billion yesterday. And again, guys, we have Jerome in the house next week. We're going to be on a roller coaster ride, but he has to say, they're not going to be cutting rates. And that's the reason why the bond market is trying to price that in. So therefore, the fall doesn't be so bad. But all you have to do is look at the stock market. The stocks that were getting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on a daily basis are now pulling back already in a big way. Of course, the mainstream media puts a narrative around it, but we know the Fed is just pulling back. You can just look at Tesla. Look at the narrative they're trying to sell you, but Tesla has pulled back big. But we know Tesla is definitely for the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Tom Emmer says the Federal Reserve has made CBDCs a key duty. Now, guys, remember, if we're moving over to a cashless society, you already know the central banks have to have a currency. And of course, they're going to present it as a stable coin. The dollar is just going to be a stable coin. And then, of course, it's going to be a peg to their CBDC. So therefore, they can still control the supply and demand. And you'll have different companies with their own stable coin which will be attached to that dollar, which is going to be a stable coin, and then, of course, which is attached to the CBDC. It's going to be very easy, but remember, once everything is digital, guys, nothing is real. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, getting over into the Bitcoin spot ETFs, we have BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, of course, all down. Now, this article states spot Bitcoin ETFs, net inflow slow. And, of course, guys, the way they've been talking about inflows, Bitcoin should already be at 100,000. But if you actually look at the numbers, Bitcoin and all cryptos were moving up. And even though we received the spot Bitcoin ETF, received billions in, it was nowhere near the comparisons of the amount that Bitcoin was moving up. It was like the stock market valuation instead of actually what's coming in. Now we have VanEck says Ethereum ETFs could be bigger than Bitcoin ETFs. And I agree with that 100% because Ethereum ETFs actually have real utility, and there's so much utility around Ethereum. And those of us been in crypto, we know how Ethereum is going to change everything that we do. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Hong Kong regulators say crypto exchange Mexi has been operating without a license. And remember, guys, these exchanges are nothing but banks, and eventually these big banks will turn into exchanges, and they're going to be the only ones left. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have BNB Chain introduces rollups as a service solution to expand the Layer 2 ecosystem. Also, we have Binance quietly spins off $10 billion venture arm Binance Labs. And guys, we know anytime you receive a spinoff, eventually something gets sold. And then lastly, guys, we have Solana market cap hits an all-time high as price surges 10% amid meme coin fever. And it had nothing to do with meme coin fever, guys. We know a lot of Solana is being sold. Of course, you want to get it to the highest price possible if you're trying to sell it. Remember, it's Mike Novogratz that's in charge of FTX Fund. And of course, Mike Novogratz is a Goldman Sachs guy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York Long COVID 33, Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.